Lou, you told me excitedly during the week that you had seen some swifts. So
Yeah.
tell the listeners about swifts, please.
Do you know what swifts are?
They're birds.
Good.
They stay on the wing for extended periods of time. In fact, I read about a study where they tracked a swift that stayed in the sky for 10 months non-stop.
I must have read the same one. That's right. On the wing all that time. Now, they look a little bit like swallows.
Yes, that's true.
And where I saw them there was a thunderstorm, a really dramatic front coming over my garden. And I was watching the front, and ahead of the front were these birds really, really high in the sky.
Right.
These were swifts.
And about how many? I'm just trying to picture.
Well, they tend to flock. It's hard to say because they're moving at an enormous rate just ahead of the front. This time I saw what might be 40, 50,
wow.
something like that.
Oh, wow.
All heading up, as I say, lined up.
front of the storm.
And they're flying very, very high. They glide.
Mm-hmm.
You might think you're looking at a swallow. But a swallow...
The shape of their wings.
Yeah, but the shape of their wings is actually different. They have a very short forewing, the bit next to the body, and then a sort of U shape, and then really long pointed wings at the ends. And they only flutter the ends and glide.
Lou's demonstrating, everyone.
I'm
I'm
flattering.
sorry I can't show you what she's doing.
Yeah, I'm flattering. And they are remarkable flyers. And what they're doing with that front is that the front is pushing flying insects ahead of the storm. And they are catching the insects.
Wow.
And that's what they do. They feed entirely on flying animals. Very often you will get those nuptial flights of ants or termites or even mayflies high up in the sky, and they will be swooping after them.
Oh, right. Because I was wondering about that. I was thinking, wow, imagine having to find your dinner for 10 months just in the sky. But I hadn't thought about the flying
swarms,
yes.
the flying swarms.
Yeah.
But also another thing that they're very, very partial to, is ballooning spiders.
Yes. But I don't know how many of those they're seeing.
Well,
I suppose that would be a seasonal phenomenon as well, wouldn't it?
in different countries, yes.
Yeah.
So they breed way up in the northeast Asia, and they come here every summer.
After breeding. Yeah.
And I did wonder, as I was looking at this front, was it coming from the northeast? Because it was quite early on in the summer, and I thought, are they just being helped along?
Yes.
And when the front arrived, they were gone.
Be. Yeah.
I never saw them again.
Clever.
No.
Right. And I understand that relatives of our swifts, we have two different types here, I think.
Yeah, these ones were fork-tailed swifts.
Right. We have fork-tailed swifts and needle-tails.
Yes, that's right. They are, let me have a look. Beg your pardon. They are not fork-tailed. They are, these ones are the biggest ones. They were white-throated needle-tails.
Right. And the other option would have been fork-tailed swifts.
It would.
But they have relatives in Asia, other swifts, and they're the ones whose nests people used to eat. I don't know if they still do.
They do.
Still do.
And now they manufacture, because these guys nest in caves and they may roost in caves, but mostly actually they live on the wing.
They even copulate on the wing.
Yep. They sleep on the wing. Apparently half the brain just closes down and they just keep flying.
Amazing.
So they used to be in these caves in China and I think Thailand, a number of different countries up there in Asia. And at the breeding season, they produce a lot of saliva. And the saliva is used in making of the nest. And it is almost entirely made of saliva.
Wow.
Hung into these caves or even buildings. And what they're doing now, it's very dangerous going into those caves and collecting that nest, those mini nests, to make this very expensive frankly, I think it sounds disgusting, but very expensive bird's nest soup. It is a specialty.
Which is popular because it's supposed to be an aphrodisiac and it's supposed to provide health benefits, I think.
Right.
But anyway, you were saying what they're doing now.
It's just gelatinous and horrible. I think it looks
doesn't
really
appeal
horrible.
to me.
Anyway, it doesn't. So people have to go in there and collect them. In the old days, that's what they used to do. A very dangerous job, very athletic job, climbing up cliff faces and so on and so forth. Now they build special buildings for them to nest in. But then they go and steal their nests. So it's not terribly kind.
And there are concerns that it's having impact on the population of those.
Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah. But why they live on the wing is because they can't actually perch. They're not perching birds. Mm-hmm. They can only hang. And that's what they do. They hang literally on vertical surfaces with 4 toes at the front.
Oh, right.
So they're in a group of birds called non-passerines. The passerines are the perching birds. They're most of the birds that we think about, but there's quite a lot of birds that aren't passerines. Now, the passerines...
She's gesturing again.
The passerines are perching birds because they've got one toe at the back and 3 at the front, and they can lock onto a branch when they go to sleep.
Like everybody's budgie.
Yeah. But I always used to wonder why they didn't fall off when they were asleep.
All the same. I agree with you.
Yeah, but there's a lock mechanism in their legs.
Yeah.
These guys can't do that. So they've got 4 claws that hang either on a vertical, on the outside of big trees vertically, but very often they actually will perch behind waterfalls.
Oh, right.
And this is why we cannot find any photographs of perching swifts, because they will perch behind, if you please.
So we are not going to have very many images with our audio on YouTube for swifts.
Well, I won't be able to produce any, I'm sorry. Anyhow, they're remarkable birds.
Yes.
We're very lucky to have them.
They're on the wing all that time. I think it's remarkable too.